अर्हतु शरणं गच्छामि शरणं Good. So let us begin. We are reading the second sub-chapter of the first book, the first chapter. It's a sutta. It was slightly longer, so I thought we'll read it in parts. And it has some interesting verses. And there's also some background available in one of the books. It's about a rich herdsman, those who keep ग्वाले होते हैं ना, गोपो मतलब ग्वाले जो हैं. A rich herdsman, धनिया उसका नाम है, and Buddha. So the rich herdsman rejoices in his worldly wealth and security, and अच्छी कुटिया है, परिवार है, and the Buddha tells him the counterpart from the spiritual perspective. So the story says that he had built a strong shelter on the banks of river Mahi in Savatthi, and Buddha realized that this family was in danger of being overwhelmed by the floods which are coming. So he appeared there, and just when he was reciting, rejoicing with Dhamma. So with that background, you can study these verses. So you'll find one verse says, "Iti dhaniya gopo," means this is what the dhaniya herdsman Gwala jo hai, this is what the Lord said. So in this way, there is a kind of dialogue between them. It's a two people saying something related to each other. I'll read it for you. Pakko dano duddha khiro hem asmi anutire mahiya saman vasu channa putti ahito jinni athache pathayasi pavassadeva. Athache pathayasi pavassadeva. Pavassa means O rain. Deva I have translated as rain god. Athache pavassi, if you like, you rain. So that's the statement being made. What is the condition he says? Pakko dano. Pak matlab paka liya hai, dano, udan matlab rice. So I have cooked my rice. Duddha khiro hai masmi. Duddha khiro means जो हमारे गाय हैं उनका दूध मैंने निकाल लिया है. I have taken out the milk from my cows. अनुतीरे महाया समानवासो. I am जो महाया नदी के तीर पे मैं अपने लोगों के साथ समानवासो, जो मेरे जैसे हैं, जो मेरे लोग हैं, उनके साथ अच्छी तरह रह रहा हूँ. छन्ना कुट्टी, कुट्टी को मैंने आच्छादित कर दिया है, ठीक से थैच वगैरह लगा रखे हैं. आही तो जिन्नी, आग भी जली हुई है, मतलब चूल्हा जला हुआ है. अथ चे पवित्रति. So ये सब है तो फिर चिंता की क्या बात है? It must have been cloudy. He says, okay, therefore if you like rain god, all right, let the rain be rain, no issues, no difficulty for me. Now see the corresponding things which Buddha says. It's interesting to see how Buddha matches his words in Pali with the spiritual freedom aspects. वहाँ पे था अक्को दानो, पक्को दानो, तो here he says अक्को धानो. अक्को धानो means free from anger, क्रोध से दूर हूँ. अक्को धानो विगत खीलो है मस्मी, उसमें था दुग्ध खीलो है मस्मी. विगत खीलो मतलब खील जो होते हैं यहाँ पे मेंटल ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन जो है. So I am free from anger, I am free from nivaran, mental obstructions. अनुतीरे माहिया, मैं भी उसके नदी पे आया हूँ, एक रत्ती वास, एक रात के लिए आया हूँ रहने के लिए। I am abiding on the rank of the river for just one night. Then see, विवट्ट कुट्टी, मेरी कुटिया जो है वो अनकवर्ड है। कुटिया मतलब हेयर मीन्स बॉडी, माई बॉडी इज अनकवर्ड। निबुत्तो जिन्नी, और जो फायर है वो एक्सटिंग्विश हो गई है। अथ चे पथयासी पवित्र, ओके, एंड इवन देन you fall. Therefore, if you like rain god, you fall. I have no issues. See, the comparison between the two states is really remarkable, isn't it? इसको पाली में भाषा बिल्कुल एक जैसी बना के उन्होंने बोला। उसमें दुध खीरो ऐसमी था, इसमें विगत खीलो ऐसमी। अनुतुर्य माहिया वो भी वही है। एको रत्तिवास हो, उसमें समान वास हो। विवट्ट कुत्ती, उसमें छन्न कुत्ती मतलब कुत्ती मेरी आच्छादित है, इसने कहा विवट्ट कुत्ती, कोई अनकवर्ड है, कुछ कवर नहीं। आही तो जन्नी, आग जली हुई है, उसने कहा निबुत्त तो जन्नी, आग बुझी हुई है। I felt very delighted to read this. Then the third and fourth are also interesting. अनधका मकासा न विज्जरे, अंधका हुआ जो अंधी मक्खियां होती हैं, तो गैड फ्लाई जो काटती हैं। मकासा मतलब मच्छर, न विज्जरे नहीं है। कच्चे रूल हाथाने चरंती गाओ, जो मेरी गायें हैं वो कच्चे मतलब मीडोज में रूल तने मतलब जो बहुत भरी पड़ी हैं। सो माई इन द मीडोज विच आर अबाउंडिंग विद ग्रास, माई काउज आर रोमिंग। उथिम अपनी सहायम आगतम, और जब वो अब बगैर किसी सहायता के वापस भी आ जाती हैं। दे कैन उथिम अपी, रेन को भी वो सहन कर सकती है, और जब रेन आएगी तो वो रेन को भी सहन कर लेंगे। अथ चे पथयासी पवस्त देवा, सो इफ यू दो लाइक रेन, वो रेन गॉड। So he's saying I am well protected, I am protected from flies, from mosquitoes, my cows are well taken care of, and they know how to endure rain and they'll come back if it rains, no problem. Now see what he is saying. Instead of andhaka, he is baddhaka. Baddhaka means bound. Bhisi susankhada, भीसी होती है रैफ्ट, जो से कच्ची रैफ्ट बनाते हैं उनसे, सरकंडों वगैरह से। सुसंखत्ता मतलब आई हैव पुट टुगेदर, मैंने अच्छी तरह से उसको बना दिया है। तिन्नो पारगतो विनेय होगम, वो ऐसी है जो कि दूसरे शोर पे ले जाती है। ऐसी रैफ्ट मैंने बनाई है जिसको लेके मैं दूसरे शोर पे चला गया। आई हैव क्रॉस्ड ओवर द फ्लड, आई हैव रीच्ड द अदर बैंक। तो भिसिया ना विज्जती, और अब मुझे उस भिसिया की, उसकी रैफ्ट की जरूरत नहीं है। So therefore I don't need anything. Let the rain fall. There's nothing that I really need. Now, fifth is quite interesting. Fifth and sixth चेंज करना पड़ेगा, आपको सेकंड पेज देना पड़ेगा। गोपी मम अत्सवा लोला, दीघरत्तं समाविशया मनापा, तस्य न सुनामि किंचि पापम, अथ चे पथेसि पवस्य देव। गोपी मम, गोपी मतलब मेरी पत्नी जो है, मम असावा लोका, वो बहुत obedient है, and she is very good to me, she is not wicked. दीघरत्तम समाविशाय मनापा, वो बहुत लंबे समय से मेरे साथ रह रही है और बड़े प्रेम से शांति से we live together. तस्य न सुनामि किंचि पापम, मैंने उसके बारे में कभी भी गलत बात नहीं सुनी है। अथ च पथयासि पवस्य देवा, therefore if you thou lay for rain god, you can rain. Now see the comparison which is saying. इसमें था गोपी मम असावल लोका, here it is चित्तम मम असावम विमुक्तम, मेरा चित्त जो है आसवों से विमुक्त हो चुका है। दीघरत्तम परिभावितम सुदंतम, वहां पे भी उसी सेम वर्ड्स इज ट्राई टू यूज देम। बड़े लंबे समय से परिभावितम, उसको मैंने कंट्रोल किया है, उसको ट्रेन किया है। सुदंतम मानी रिजल्ट का सबड्यूड। पापम पन्न में ना विज्जति, मेरे में कोई भी पाप नहीं जागता है। देयर इज नथिंग विकेड इन मी एनी लॉन्गर। इफ thou like or rain, O rain god. And similarly there are other verses, वो कुछ कहता है, उन्हीं शब्दों को थोड़ा सा बदल के भगवान जो है उसका मतलब बदल देते हैं। So you can see the difference between the security which one gets from worldly life, living a good worldly life, and the security which one gets from living a spiritual life. Spiritual freedom versus the material freedom. So this is the kind of scope of this sutta. Good. Any comments?
No, sir. Just reading.
Just a second.
Nothing, sir. I'm just glancing at it again.
Any query? Or
I'm just reading it again, the translation, just before we next thing.
Anything from Sudhakar, you can ask him if you have anything. Comment on it.
Sudhakar, you have any questions?
Any comments?
Yes and no, sir.
Listen to comments. Good, then we can move further.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You should read the next chapter from Alan Watts.
Yeah, let us start there. इसकी वो presentation डाल दो.
Sir, you have access to the book, or should we project on the screen?
I have the book, but Sudhakar may not have the book.
Sudhakar, do you have the book?
Yeah.
Just a second, sir.
Yeah.
Let's stop it.
Chapter.
You are on which chapter number 4?
Wisdom of the body?
The wisdom of the body.
What is the page number?
Page number.
We're just locating, sir. I'll tell you. Page number 66. Also, under the So we are on page number 66.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I opened my book. I can see that. And hope Sudhakar can also see.
Next one is
Yeah, it is visible.
नीचे पढ़िए.
Okay, sir, we can start reading.
So, who is going to read?
Deepak sir.
Okay.
Okay.
So we are starting from the paragraph which starts with body is worn out. And so before starting this paragraph, so there is a note which I have written that can we welcome death as we welcome sleep after hard day's work? And this is a summary which I have noted, and I will start reading the paragraph. For when the body is worn out and the brain is tired, the whole organism welcomes death. But it is difficult to understand how death can be welcome when you are young and strong, so that you come to regard it as a dread and terrible event. For the brain, in its immaterial ways, looks into the future and conceives it a good to go on and on forever, not realizing that it is its own material would at last find the process intolerably tiresome. Not taking this into account, the brain fails to see that being itself material and subject to change, its desires will change and a time will come when death will be good. On a bright morning, after a good night's rest, you do not want to go to sleep, but after a hard day's work, the sensation of dropping into unconsciousness is extraordinarily pleasant. Okay, and for the next paragraph, the line which I have noted from the section is that the body dies because it wants to. And here's what the author says. Unfortunately, not very many of us die peacefully. We die through accidents and painful diseases, and it is tragic indeed when a person whose mind is still young and alert struggles uselessly with a dying body. I am sure, however, that body dies because it wants to. It finds it beyond its power to resist the disease or mend the injury, and so, tired out with the struggle, turns to death. If the consciousness were more sensitive to the feelings and the impulses of the whole organisms, it would share this desire, and indeed sometimes it does so. When when we come close to it when in serious sickness, we would just as soon as die, though sometimes we survive either because medical treatment reinvigorates the body or because there are still unconscious forces in the organism which are able to heal. The next section, next paragraph summary I've noted down is that brain gives us the impression that we can overcome our finite limitations.
So, so here there is this very sensitive topic of you know dying peacefully versus uh, trying to defeat or delay death by using medical interventions, and sometimes that is very tricky and it's very touchy topic also, because if someone close to your family is very sick, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, certainly. Quite tough, no doubt. Quite tough. But then one has to see the first and foremost the wish of the person has to be respected, isn't it?
So your voice is low. You
The collective
bring
will
the
have.
microphone close to your.
Okay. I said first and foremost the wish of the person who is ill has to be respected, isn't it? If it is known. And secondly, this is the event being a irreversible one has to take the concurrence of all the near and dear ones, because otherwise it creates a lot of difficult problems. It can have. You know about my mother, how we had to let her go. So it's certainly, I know for sure, it's not easy. It's quite a tough thing. But then, if the person is mature and the people are mature, you can have a peaceful exit rather than getting hooked up to the ventilator for days and weeks and months. Obviously, a decision is very tough. I know it's extremely tough to decide that now you'll stop the medication and let the person pass away. But if the person himself, in his senses, has given that directions, it is greatly helpful. So what we can learn is that I can give direction. You are too young to give the direction. I have certainly given directions to my wife. We need not hold on to things unnecessarily. and prolong the agony. It doesn't mean that one commits suicide or one doesn't get treated. If the disease is curable with reasonable effort, fine, why not? If it is not, that's fine. So,
Yeah, this is tricky. So,
can you hear me or not?
if the, yes, sir, yes, sir. If the person who's sick and has himself starts to say that uh, don't want to prolong this sickness and medical treatment, but still it's very difficult to for the family members to do that.
Yeah, but then one has to see it really. That's why I said it depends on the maturity and dispassion in the family members. First and foremost.
And so, what about one's self? Sorry.
Yeah, we can. For example, I've told my wife. I think I told her, and I think both of us actually agree. I don't know whether we explicitly said, because when our mother was critically ill, she had told us very clearly that वो ये सब हॉस्पिटल ले जाके वेंटिलेटर को टांग के, जैसे तुमने अपने पिताजी को टांग दिया था वहाँ पे, वो सब मत करना. आई एम ऑलरेडी 80, 81, बहुत हो गया. ठीक नहीं हो रहा, ठीक नहीं होना तो नहीं होना ना, घर पे पड़ी हुई खत्म हो जाएगी. आई एम क्वाइट हैप्पी, quite content, and that was very remarkable of her. She remained so calm and quiet and happy. अगर उनकी आप फोटो देखोगे तो you can't figure out that she knew that she is going to pass away very soon. So that gave us strength, that gave us strength. Similarly, if I and my wife have clarity on this issue, that will give whoever is surviving, give him or her the strength to take a decision. Less difficulty will be created in taking a decision. So it's a matter of being clear on that issue. Of course, at a young age, people don't discuss these things normally. Though there is no guarantee that when the call will come, but still, in our society, it is a taboo. But in families where there is openness and this issue can be discussed, it's good to spell out clearly the extent to which medical treatment should be undertaken. So if I specify or my wife specifies clearly, then for the survivor it will be easy to take a decision. Otherwise, it becomes almost impossible.
Yeah.
In my mother's case, because she had herself told us कि मुझे नहीं जाना है, और but in my father's case there was no such clarity. So we took him, and of course we also felt that he's recovered from illness, and then it was a small thing we felt, but then it went into terminal situation, and he had to be kept on ventilator for 15 days, or I don't know how many. I don't remember exactly. Quite some time, and it was quite a torture to see that. But obviously, one would like to do the treatment, to not just use that as an alibi for running away from responsibility. ये भी हो जाता है ना कई बार.
Yeah.
It's a very delicate decision to be done with calm and quiet mind and with the consent of everybody, because socially बहुत सी serious implications हो सकती हैं. In our case, for example, I remember I called my brother, sister, their spouses. My son was also there, daughter-in-law was there, our son was there, daughter-in-law was there, and we all collectively decided. Of course, I took the decision and told them, this is what I feel, what do you feel? And they all said, yes, that's it. She was anyway almost last breath, but we were trying to give her medicines which would just throw her back into the realm again and again and again. But then, since we're all collected there and took a decision with full awareness, we didn't feel bad about it later. Never did we question why did we do so when we should not have done that. It didn't arise because we took it with full awareness, with proper discussion with the doctor, with everybody. A friend who was attending, a doctor friend was attending. I remember in, I think, 3 or 4 days before her death, when her condition had deteriorated and she was getting into coma, again a thought had come कि भाई हॉस्पिटल ले जाओ इनको चलो. तो फिर वो again we calmly reflected and said no, that's not possible.
Yeah.
A difficult decision, no doubt about it. But then we may have to be placed in a situation where such a difficult decision has to be taken. One can't then run away from it. What do you think?
Sudhakar, Silesh is saying, is it an intuitive decision or intellectual one? This is a hard one.
Yeah, obviously, it is an intuitive. It's an intuitive decision. Yeah. There's no question. You can't reason it out. राजेश, तुम्हारी एज 67 क्यों आ रही भाई?
नहीं सर, वो एज नहीं, वो पेज था सर. वो सिलेश पेज पूछ रहा था सर. मैंने पी पी सर टाइप नहीं हुआ.
अच्छा, मैंने कहा कुछ बुरा तो नहीं मान गए?
नहीं सर, इसके कीबोर्ड का पी दूसरी बार भी टाइप नहीं हुआ सर. मैंने 2 बार लिखने की कोशिश की.
तभी तो मैं कहा ना कि ये good.
So Silesh, any comments?
Yeah, it is true. He's written a comment. Is it an intuitive decision or intellectual? Obviously, it is intuitive. Intellect तो इसमें काम ही नहीं कर सकता. इंटेलेक्ट की बेसिस पे तो आप ये कहेंगे कि नहीं नहीं कभी हो सकता है, क्या पता, miracles do happen, this happens, that happens. You can always reason it out both ways. बहुत ही मुश्किल है इंटेलेक्ट से. तो it has to be a decision taken with after meditation, sitting quietly and taking a decision that whether you want your mother to suffer for. This is what we did, you know. Do I want her to suffer for another few days? Because it was clear that she cannot survive. There's no way. But at best, what could have happened is that we could have kept her until ventilator for another week and made her suffer and done something against her wish. So obviously, it had to be an intuitive decision. It's too difficult a decision to be rationally taken. रैशनैलिटी तो वहीं तक चल सकती है जब तक आपको मेडिकेशन करनी है कि हाँ भाई यहाँ ट्रीटमेंट करें कि वहाँ करें, कैसा करें. That's what I
So Silesh has a comment.
have learned. Shouldn't it be backed? Of course, it has to be. It has to. The whole process has to start from that basis. I mean, just I'm giving an example. In our mother's case, we knew that she cannot be cured. All the oncologists had very clearly said that she cannot be cured. There's no way. And we consulted 3 or 4 of them, I think. Everybody, without any deviation, said it's too old to be given medication and chances of her survival are very, very limited. So that was the intellectual input we got. And on that basis, we had to take a decision. Okay, we took a decision. We try with the alternative medicine and then give her those alternative medicines from Calcutta and all, made that arrangement, all that. So that was again an intellectual decision. That because the allopaths are saying that she cannot be given any medication because allopathic medication is too heavy for her. So we said we'll try with homeopathy because at least the doctor we had spoken, found out, he had good reputation internationally. So all that was intellectually done then. But finally, when the die had to be cast, then it had to be a intuitive decision. So that's what I've seen in so many other cases also. But to be able to take a decision that we let our dear one go is very, very difficult, extremely, no doubt about that. I've not seen in my relatives any such example. I know of a meditator, of course, in Pune who did it herself.
Your voice is a bit low.
And she was on life support system for long. She called her son who was away, called her friends and meditators and said, okay, let us sit and meditate. And she had already instructed the doctor कि भाई बस अब लिख के दे दिया मैंने मेरी पाइपें सब हटा दो बहुत हो. And she sat and meditated, the people around her meditated, and she passed away. Oh, that is something extraordinary. Very something extraordinary. Other than that, I don't know of any example where I can share with you. If you know, please do share.
Sir, I was reading biography of Sikh gurus, and they had so many gurus one after another. What I was found very different was that whenever so each of those gurus probably they were very spiritually advanced, so they knew that their death has approached. So they just calmly tell people that their time has come and they are now planning to go, and you don't need to have all those like in India किसी के मरने पे ज़्यादा रिमोर्स करते हैं और दुख मनाते हैं. Like, just be calm and read the Japji Guru Granth Sahib or other hymns of Guru Granth Sahib, and just be normal. This is a normal stage of the life. That I found
Those kind of
very
stories I have also heard, but I don't know personally. Some people get those who have the power of foreseeing the time of death. I've heard about them.
Yes.
Any other issue? Go ahead.
Zakir is saying my classmate had decided to die rather than get treated for his lung cancer. He wanted to save money to his daughter's future. He was a strong devotee, Sri Ramakrishna.
I can't read it fully. My classmate has decided
To die rather than get treated for his lung cancer. He wanted to save money for his daughter's future. He was a strong devotee of Sri Ramakrishna.
strong. Is it strong?
Devotee of Sri Ramakrishna.
I see. Well, that's a point of view. If the thing is such that he cannot be cured, probably must have taken that into account.
This very similar case was for my father when he was diagnosed with stage 3 blood cancer. We went to all oncologists, and though everybody was recommending different kinds of treatments, but then we asked them what what are the chances of his survivor, and what is the time that he would survive. The longest that an oncologist said was 18 months, 1.5 year. And when we asked if we don't give chemotherapy, what would be the chances? And he said 3 months to 9 months. That was difficult decision for all of us. But in the end, we discussed among the family members and decided not to go for chemotherapy because it was already stage 3, stage 4. And only the painkillers and antibiotics were given. Survived for around 8 months after that. But he passed away at home. That was, I think, what he also wanted. He said, I don't want to go in hospital with all those drips and all those needles in me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll start reading again.
Any other thoughts, or we move ahead? What does Sudhakar have to say about his friend? Is he in a state that he can't be cured? Because the reason he gave was a bit, created a little bit of disturbance, that he wanted to save money. If it is incurable, I can understand. But if it is just to save money, it sounds very unusual, I have to put it mildly. What do you people think?
So I possibly
The other thing, it was detected when it is not curable.
Yeah, then it's, of course, if it's not curable at all, then what can?
so one I think thing is that how comfortable the person is.
Yeah, please kindly repeat. I couldn't hear.
So what I was saying was that how comfortable the person is, whether uh, going for the treatment or not going for the treatment. If one is possibly fully comfortable that he doesn't want to go for the treatment, then possibly it's a wise decision. But if one wants to be cured, uh, but because of some like reasons of money doesn't want to go for treatment, then possibly death won't be that peaceful.
Yeah, it can create a, yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's very difficult to predict really. Maybe. You know, when a young man dies under these circumstances, I had to face a friend dying, and I got actually very upset with his decision of not taking treatment.
So the
Because,
friend decided not to get a treatment for money or for other any
he had
reason.
cancer. No, for the reason that the treatment is very painful and produces, you know, उल्टी आती है, quality of life ठीक नहीं रहती, दिक्कत हो जाती है. And he was a meditator, and then he had shifted to some other meditations. But he was very close to us, and he, 3-4 दोस्तों को उन्होंने बुलाया हमारे को और पूछा आपका क्या विचार है. हमने तो कहा ट्रीटमेंट कराओ, because his cancer was of such a kind. He was young, you know, just 40 or something, 45, and he had a son who was studying in class 10 or 11. मैंने कहा भाई ट्रीटमेंट जो वो कह रहा है डॉक्टर की एम्स में हो जाएगा, and it will give you an additional lifespan of at least 2 years. और you are in a stage for family, just for the sake of family, you go through the suffering. What is there? Of course, it is easy for me to say that, and his decision is his finally. But I somehow felt that, you know, if my living for another few years can relieve the suffering of my family to a considerable extent, and I can do that, why not? Why not go through some additional difficulty of treatment or things like, you know, chemotherapy से जो difficulty आती है वो 2-3 दिन रहती है, फिर ठीक हो जाता है, फिर होती है, फिर हो जाता है. But if my presence is much more valuable to the people, जैसे बच्चा 11वीं में पढ़ रहा है, उसको 1 साल और हो जाएगा तो वो कॉलेज चला जाएगा. At least he will be established and set up. So that's my perspective. It's obviously theoretical for me, but I'm just sharing with you. If somebody ever advises you and seeks your help, you know, in that case, since he was very close to me, to another people, all three of us gave him the advice, kar lo bhai. Then he said no. I said, fine, that's your treatment. But we still continued to nurse him to the extent we can, but we didn't survive. Within 15 days or 20 days, he passed away. But he had a very rare kind of cancer which spreads by jumping, you know, from one end organ it jumps to the other organ. It doesn't spread like a usual cancer. तो उसके प्रोस्टेट से शुरू होकर वो सीधा हार्ट में चला गया, एंड जस्ट कोलैप्स्ड. उस समय जब वो एडमिट हुआ हॉस्पिटल में तब कीमोथेरेपी उन्होंने शुरू की थी. अब क्या होगा? But obviously it's a very, very difficult decision to take. But why I'm sharing it is that in case somebody is in a situation where it's an intellectual part is also involved in it, obviously, that कि भाई मेरे रहने से कितना कष्ट घर वालों को होगा, कितना मुझे होगा, कितना होगा, कितना लाभ उनको होगा। अगर कोई ऐसी स्थिति है कि मेरा 1-2 साल और रहने से परिवार और संभल जाएगा, सुधर जाएगा, संभल जाएगा, प्लानिंग हो जाएगी भविष्य की, दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग कैन बी टेकन। इफ वन इज अवेयर कि भाई I'm at a young age, I'm going to die within a year or 2 or less than a year with medication. Then I have at least some time to plan for the life after I die, so that the rest of the family can live peacefully. I think that would be an act of compassion, in my opinion. I'm not making a comment on what Sudhakar's friend, but I'm just suggesting it. So I request Sudhakar not to take it in that sense. I'm just mentioning because I personally had a very, very close friend who passed away in that manner. I actually got very upset when he took this decision. And I told him point blank. Because he's a good friend, so why to hide your disappointment? That's the question of. I didn't tell him about this, his son and all, but I internally felt it. I told him I disagree with it. He said, yes, okay. But his life is mine, decision is mine. He said, yeah, we respect it and we'll help you to the extent we can. But as things would have it, we didn't have to help him much. He just lasted, and I think 3 weeks or 4 weeks after the diagnosis, just collapsed. तो उसके उनके जाने के बाद उसके बच्चे को, उनकी वाइफ को परेशानी हुई, सडनली पासिंग अवे, not proper taken care and all, एक स्टूडेंट जो बच्चा 11वीं में होता है तो बहुत ही क्रूशल पेज है भारतवर्ष में, बहुत दिक्कत हुई उसकी फैमिली को। बट another friend, he took great care of them and made sure that they were looked after to the extent it was possible. Because he was nearer to his wife. So, since we have seen such cases, that's why I'm sharing it. In the hope that if some situation of that comes, we can see that that part is also important. Because my life is not just my life. It seems like my life and my body, and I can do what I like with it. It belongs to the universe. It belongs to at least to the family, if not to others. So that also is a point worth considering. It may sound contradictory to the earlier one, but it isn't really contradictory. It is in my opinion, complementary to that perspective. Because I'm sure if our friend had taken treatment and lived as doctor had promised for another 1.5 to 2 years, he could have taken good care of his son and family, made sure that all the arrangements are done of how to live after he passes away, and comforted this family so that they don't get into a shock of that kind. So one can take that perspective also, keep it in mind. What do you think? You're young people, so angry with this?
No, sir. Very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, we are faced with difficult point. Topic is but that's what I felt. So, in fact, his wife also used to say that after his passing away. Anyway, any What is Sudhakar has written something else? No?
I think
I can't
I
read
think
fully this.
that is exactly what happened with other classmates' wives. She took treatment knowing it is not going to help prolong the death. I mean, treatment.
She must be having some
Doctor,
children
can you
whose affection for them, so as to take care of them and put them in good shape. Mothers can be amazing. Yeah, mothers can be amazing. A mother can take unbelievable suffering on herself for the sake of her children.
So I think, sir, the point what you are sharing is that my body is just not my body, that I can choose whether I want to live or not. It's possibly the collective decision of the family. What family says that if we need you for some time, or we have faith that we can cure you. So there is into family also.
Yeah, there is an element. It also depends on the stage at which you are, no? Stage of the life.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah, so I think many times what I was saying was that many times in our family when this thing happens, we possibly don't do those honest discussions and try to sit together and discuss these things and
yeah, that is
actually
right. You're right. You have a discussion about death is a taboo. We don't discuss these things, but it's very important actually. At least meditators and people who have that hopefully have lesser attachment to the body and don't take their life so personally, less personally, or whatever you want to call it. They should be able to create an environment where we can talk about these things.
so okay.
Hello?
Sudhakar has written this question. We hear these.
Yeah, I can.
The Buddha left the body for cremation.
There is Ananda made it disappear into ashes or some such thing. Yeah. That's true. This is what that book mentions. Great disciples of the Buddha. That, but effectively it was same thing. The only thing he avoided was the process of cremation. It is said that when he knew that it's time for him to go, he sat and meditated on fire element. And he first levitated, went up to the sky, and then meditated on fire element, and his whole body burnt out, and only the relics fell down. Well, that is, you can't really put why he did it, I don't know. For an Arahant, there's no rule and regulation. So it's all.
So, sir, I had one more question. What should be our attitude when towards a person who is near and dear to us? when we get to know about the incurable disease or the imminent death, because that person most of the time is in hospital and doesn't get to know clearly by doctors, and family also sometimes tries to hide the thing.
Yeah, that's okay. If the family wants to hide it, then let it in. What can you do? You can practice goodwill and try to create positivity around it. But nothing more than that can be. I mean, if people are unwilling to face the fact, then you can't. It will not be polite to insist that they should face the fact, isn't it?
Okay.
और वो मतलब हमारे जो सामान्य लोक व्यवहार है उसके हिसाब से उचित नहीं होगा कि हम उसको इंसिस्ट करें कि सत्य का सामना करो भाई, ये सब क्या है.
Based on other person's mentality, you need to
Pardon?
adjust to that.
No, समझा नहीं क्वेश्चन को. ये लास्ट बात वर्ड समझ साफ नहीं था.
Based on other person's comfortability of knowing whether he'll be comfortable knowing these things or not. If it's not,
yeah, certainly. ये तो है ही है. That is the primary thing actually. If the other person is immature spiritually and he's not in a position to take the fact that he's dying or he's going to die soon, and he wants to live in a hope that he'll come through, okay, let him. Who knows? Miracles do happen. Who knows? So who are we to show him the truth or whatever we feel is the truth? The first and foremost priority comes to the dying person's thoughts, and if he happens to be a close friend and a meditator with whom we know very closely, we can interact with him in a different manner. If it is a relative and we know the person and the family close to him are not spiritually inclined, they are not meditators, they are not going to accept this kind of advice. It's the same thing, just as we have family members whom we find they are very suffering and you want to tell them कि भाई ध्यान कर लो, और वो नाराज हो जाते हैं कि क्या ध्यान करें, हम तो उस आदमी के उस परिस्थिति के कारण परेशान है, तुम कह रहे हो ध्यान कर लो, ये कोई बात है? So it's not a polite thing to say under those situations. But if it is a good friend whose ears I can pull, then I can tell him anything. Isn't it? A good friend
yes,
or a good relative with whom you have a very good relationship, you can tell him whatever you like, whatever you feel is correct. But
yes.
if whosoever it be, if he is not willing to face the facts, it's not polite to make him suffer more by telling him the truth.
Understand.
What do you think?
I think it's correct. I think compassion is more important than the energy to be right and harming a person. Rather be compassionate to other person's situation.
Yeah. Compassion should take priority over other things under these situations.
Yes.
Good.
Sir, I have to leave, so we should
Yeah, you can stop if you like.
It's now
Okay,
7:30.
you want to continue for more time or?
10-15 minutes.
You want to leave? So then we'll meet next time.
Yeah, sure.
I think we can stop now.
Okay. All the best. All well at home?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There is actually someone coming over for dinner. So we want to reach home,
Okay.
do some help, whatever I can.
Yeah, surely. Please go ahead. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All the best. Sure, all the best.
Yeah.
Bye,
Bye, Sudhakar. Bye, Suresh.
Bye.
Okay. Sudhakar and Shailesh, goodbye. You must be in the morning, early morning there.
Yeah, it's pretty early there.
It should be 6:45 a.m.
6:45, and here it is 10:45 at night. Interesting. Okay, bye.
Must be also late for you.
No, for me it's okay. We don't sleep early here.
Must be. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Yes.